It's possible to switch careers even if you don't have experience in the industry you want to move into. It sounds impossible, but it's not. With the right guidance and advice, you can make the career switch that you want. I'm Cicely. In this career conversation, we're going to talk about how you can successfully switch careers even if you don't have experience or meet all the necessary qualifications. Now, how do I know this secret? Because for the past 25 years, I have successfully moved careers and industries using this simple method. And I've just spent 6 weeks teaching it in my coaching program. The aha moments were pretty phenomenal. The secret? The secret method that you need to know is simple. Focus on your value. Your value, and yes, that's you. You are the most important part of this equation. Your value is what makes you unique. It makes you stand out from others. Your value is your differentiator, and it's what potential employers are looking for. Allow me to explain using my own career as an example. As many of you know, if you watch my videos, I started out in the legal field as a lawyer, but I quickly decided to make a career transition, an industry transition as well. So I went from the legal field into politics, working in Congress in Washington, D.C. Now, I didn't have political experience. I'd never worked in Congress, and I didn't have any legislative experience as well. I stayed in that role for a couple of years before making another career and industry switch. This time, I went to corporate America. I began working for the corporate parent of Dunkin' Donuts and Baskin Robbins restaurants. And you guessed it, I didn't have corporate America experience. I didn't have business experience. And I certainly did not have restaurant industry experience. I stayed in that role for 7.5 years, and it was phenomenal. But I decided to make another career switch. This time, to represent the restaurant industry at the industry level here in Washington. And I'd never represented an industry. I didn't know exactly what it entailed. But what I did know is that I was hired to lead 8 teams to chart a new course here in Washington. But without industry experience, yet I got the job anyway. I stayed in that role for a number of years, and yes, I made another career transition. This time, probably the ultimate transition to being an entrepreneur. This time, as a founder and CEO of my own lobbying and communications firm. And yes, I'd never started a business. I had no idea how to get clients. But what I knew is I know my value and I can articulate that to clients as to why they should hire me. So, if you're following along with these examples, then you know I didn't have relevant experience in each of those career transitions. I didn't have political experience, didn't have legislative experience, didn't have restaurant industry experience, didn't have business experience. But what I knew is what I brought to the table that no one else could. And that is what I articulated to potential employers as well as to folks who were interviewing me. Your value is an asset. Your value is what sets you apart from everyone else. And it can be the ultimate weakness, but you can turn it into a powerful strength. So, why am I telling you all this? Because if I can make multiple career transitions and industry transitions without any experience, you can too. I'm here to tell you it's possible. And with the right understanding of your value and how to use it to your advantage, you can pursue any career you desire, whether you have the experience or qualifications. The secret method is you, and for you to know your value. Forget the conventional wisdom. Ignore what people tell you and know that you are the differentiator and you are the architect of your future. If you need help, want to know how to navigate a career transition, how do you identify your value, and then how do you use it to your advantage, reach out. I'll put a link below in the comments for how you can reach me. Happy to talk through it with you on a quick Zoom call. I'll also link below to some additional resources that you can take advantage of in your career, whether you're going to stay or whether you're seeking a career transition. Now, for those of you who are here with me live, I see we have some questions and comments coming in, so let me switch over to those. Eileen is here this morning. Best way to start off the week. Thank you, Eileen. Good morning, Randy. Appreciate you being here. Good morning, Scott. Thank you for joining me. I hope this is helpful and you find this video valuable. Hey, good morning, Estelle. Thank you for joining as well. Randy, Cicely, you're an inspiration. I've had oh, really? You've had three distinct careers, and I believe I've waited much too long to make each transition. Once I did, the new experience and challenges of each were phenomenal. Randy, I am so glad to hear you say that because so many people, and I see it all the time, they don't think they can make a career switch. Maybe they're fearful. Maybe they don't think they have the relevant qualifications and experience, but nevertheless, they just don't take that step to actually pursue a career switch. So I'm glad to hear that you have successfully switched careers as well. Estelle says being able to articulate your value is so important. Estelle, I will tell you, knowing your value is the secret sauce to your career. I can't tell you how many times I've used it to not only switch careers and industries, but even when I got to a particular job, I would use my value to move up in that particular company and organization. So, knowing your value is truly the way to accelerate your career growth. The success you want to reach, it all relies on you knowing your value and how to use it to your advantage. So, say example, but how to use it to your advantage. Hey, Chris, good morning. It is important to articulate your previous experiences in different industries. Okay. Do you recommend listing out all of your values and having them prepared before the interview? You know what, Chris? I do. I recommend knowing, first of all, you got to identify your value and know what it is. And that's the first step. But yes, I believe the singular thread through your resume, your interview, and how you present yourself is, in fact, knowing your value. And I know Eileen can chime in on that as well. I do believe it is a singular thread, and I do believe you need to know your value. And Chris, to your point, yes, I just taught in my coaching program. Not only do you know your value, but there are examples you need to be able to back it up to illustrate not only how you know your value, but how it plays out in your job so a potential employer can understand what you bring to the table. So, indeed, Chris, I do believe it is a singular thread that you need to have them prepared for your interview. It's how I got every job I've had without having the relevant experience or qualifications. It's a powerful method. Eileen, you may know where your life is headed, but it's important to be open and flexible. There are many different transitions that can take place. Eileen, you know this well. You coach people into finding jobs and helping them get hired rapidly. And in fact, I just had this conversation with someone last week. Having options is not a bad thing. Having options is actually good. So, being flexible, which is why I always talk about your value is not tied to a job, it is not tied to a title. Your value is what you bring to the table that no one else does. It truly is your differentiator. So, you can make those career switches, you can switch industries, you can pursue the path you desire without knowing that you're tied to a job. Your value is so intrinsically personal to you, and no one can take that away from you. I see we have, oh, that was Eileen's comment that you can make many transitions during the course of your career. And look, for those of you who are here this morning, Brandy mentioned that she's made a couple of career transitions. I'd love if you put it in the chat while we're talking this morning. How many of you have made career transitions? How many of you have maybe switched industries or jobs or careers? I'd love to hear from those of you who are here. If Randy's the only one, or if there are others of you that have made career transitions as well. I'll watch the comments for that to come in, but I appreciate this dialogue this morning because for people who are not here with us, who may watch this on the replay, they need to understand they're not alone. Many of us have made these transitions successfully, and we're talking about this morning so that we can demystify this process for them and let them know it is possible to make that transition if you know how to make it and how to articulate your value. Okay, Estelle, you have made career transitions. That's great. That's good to know. I'm sure several folks on this call have made career transitions. And again, maybe like me, you've even switched industries as well. I know sometimes making a career transition can mean switching industries. Estelle says, taking what I learned from previous jobs as an added value proposition. Oh, that's a great that's a great point. That's a great point. You take what you learn from your previous jobs as an added value proposition. Estelle, you're hitting on a good point that I did not mention earlier that I will take a moment to mention now. Your value can evolve based on your experiences. That is absolutely true. And I think, Estelle, that's the point you're making. It can absolutely evolve. As you have different experiences, you're going to have different value. You're going to learn different things about yourself and what you bring to the table. But regardless, it all still stays with you. So when you switch jobs and industries, you know your value. But Estelle's right, it's going to evolve and it can evolve, and that's okay. I can certainly tell you when I was teaching this in my program over the past few weeks, I realized my own value has evolved as I now have to articulate it to my lobbying clients and to my coaching clients about why they should hire me and why they should trust me. Eileen says, oh, this is great. Let's see. I have pivoted multiple times. You started as a creative and marketing director. You spent time as a corporate trainer. Let me bring that back up. Okay, and then you pivoted to recruiting. Oh, good to know. Now you're an executive career and job search strategist. You use your experience. Okay, exactly how to market themselves. My comment keeps disappearing. Exactly how to market themselves with laser precision to employers. Exactly. Exactly. At the end of the day, as Eileen just said, this is a marketing project. It's a marketing project where you are the focus and subject of the project. It's all about you and how you show up, how you understand and use your value to your advantage is the secret to making those career transitions, but also to moving up in whatever organization you're in. And so, yes, I do teach this whether you're seeking a promotion or a raise or certainly making those transitions. So, Eileen, thank you for that comment. I appreciate that. Like I said, I think most of us on this call have made many career transitions over time, and we did so because we knew what we brought to the table. So I don't see any other comments coming in. So let me just remind everyone who's watching this now, but if you're on the replay, ignore the conventional wisdom. You know your value. You are the one who can decide what career you want and what path you want to pursue. You are the differentiator and you are the architect of your own future. And Chris Prouty, thank you for joining. I'm glad this was valuable to you. For all of you who are joining me here live or on the replay, thanks for watching. I'll include the links below so that you have those, and I'll see you in the next video.